Wearing shoes in the house is really important. Again, I'm talking about a lot of simple things, hopefully things that don't cost a lot of money, things that you can even do today. Wearing shoes in the house, not walking around in stocking feet, because that increases the risk of slipping on wood floors, tile floors, if there's water on the floor. At least if you have shoes, then you have some chance of catching a grip. Making sure your shoes are good for you. They're not too heavy, they're not too light. If you have carpeting at home, you don't want to get caught on the carpet when you're walking, when you're wearing shoes, as you swing your leg. If your shoes are worn, I've seen this a lot, and I'm guilty of it myself. Luckily, my balance is pretty good. I think I've adapted to having a large belly. It kind of helps me stay straight for now. But if shoes are worn in one part or another, then your step isn't going to be firm and even on the ground. And all it takes is one small irregularity on the floor and a shoe where the sole is worn in the wrong way, and then you can twist your ankle, you can slip, and we all want to avoid that. Now, I didn't read a lot of statistics about falls. I've got pages and pages full of them, but a lot of falls happen. A lot of falls happen for people who are over 65. Depending on which study or report you read, the cost to a person for a fall is between $9,000 and $20,000 for a fall. And that's before medications. If you need somebody to help you at home when you get back from the hospital after a fall, that's not included in that cost. And doctor's charges aren't included in that cost. So I love people who are older than me. Ever since I was a little boy, I always loved learning from people who were older than me. And I was surrounded by older people. One thing that I learned, and I could learn more of, is paying attention to money. And is this really necessary? A lot of the people that I know are reluctant to spend money on things and reluctant to spend money on themselves. Maybe they're thinking about their kids or grandkids, but everybody is worth it. And if you look at $9,000 to $20,000 for a fall versus maybe $50, a lot less than that, in simple prevention, it's really a worthwhile investment. And I believe we're all worth that investment. Let's see. So we've got shoes, clothing. Wearing clothing that's comfortable for you, that's well-fitting. Loose sleeves, long sleeves, pants that are too long. It may be the style. I have that a little bit too, but if they're too long, then you're more likely to trip. You can get caught in your clothes. Also, if you're walking, and I've done this, I've ruined some shirts this way, where you're walking by a doorknob or a stair rail, and a sleeve gets caught, the material gets caught, and I've taken a tumble because of that. I was walking along, not anticipating anything going wrong, and I got caught, and down I went. So making sure that you have well-fitting, comfortable clothes is really important. We've got pants, shoes. One thing about shoes that are worn, if they're worn in a funny place, then every step you take is an unsafe step. You don't need to have a irregularity in the floor or even water spilled on the floor that you need to watch out for. Every step you take will be unsafe. And that's something that can be avoided pretty easily. One thing about the elastic shoelaces or Velcro straps is just bending over to put your shoes on. And if you're bending over and get up very quickly, your blood pressure is going to change. And that can make you dizzy. Some people can pass out, and that can make it more likely that you're going to fall. So I'm really a supporter of long-handled shoe horns, Velcro shoelaces, or Velcro closures for shoes, or the elastic shoelaces. And there are sock pulling devices. I have to admit, I've never used one successfully, but I think people do, and they're out there. Maybe somebody can teach me how to properly use one day, but where you load the sock into the little plastic sleeve, and then you can just slip your foot into the sock, and it magically rolls up your foot and your leg without having to bend over. Oh, yeah. So one day I'll learn. If anybody's got house slippers that are worn, that are really not providing you a lot of stability, if they're slippery, if they've got holes, it's worth it to invest a little bit of money to get a new pair of slippers, and just for safety's sake. Again, something a lot of people say is it's important to always wear shoes in the house. You'd think you'd be able to rest your feet once you get home, but wearing shoes in the house will make it easier for you to move where you want to move, and also to prevent falls and slips. One simple thing that can be done is think about your day, think about what you do in your daily life, and what do you need to do what you want to do. Like with dressing, it's good to have what you need close at hand, so you don't have to reach over here for this item, bend down over here for that item. A little bit of thought with organization can help a lot. It saves time, it saves energy. I have friends who, by the time they get dressed, they're pooped for the day. That's it. There's no more energy left. And so I love to go over to people's houses and look at their situation and organize things so it makes sense. They can take a break. Instead of having things on the floor or a table that's too far, bringing a night table a little bit closer to the bed so that they can have everything they need. And it just makes life a lot easier. Also, if you have something near the bed that, or anywhere, that you use for support when you're getting up or sitting down, make sure it's something stable. It's better not to take a chance on the table that's a little bit wobbly, but it seems to work okay. Know that you can trust something. And of course, there's devices you can slip under couch cushions, and they secure to like a sofa, and they're like a little grab rail, and you can push yourself up and lower yourself. Those are pretty stable. But just one very simple thing is not to use furniture or things that are not going to support you. It's better not to risk it. The bathroom and closet, again, trying to have things where you need them in a way that makes sense for you. In my nursing training, everything had to be in a certain order, the order that it's used, and it just makes sense like that. You don't have to be that militaristic, but just make sure that what you need is close at hand. Well, one thing about closets is a lot of people fall when they're reaching overhead, and it's just easy to lose your balance. Your blood pressure changes, lots of stuff happens. If you can bring things closer to you, to where you need them so they're at hand, it'll make more sense, and you can prevent falls and other injuries.